Hi, my name's Katie and I want to chat to you today about how I overcame bulimia and hopefully it'll help you overcome it as well. Basically a little bit about myself. I grew up eating all the fast food and crap you can possibly imagine, so like KFC, McDonald's, Burger King, pizzas, kebabs, honestly the lot. So I didn't have the leanest body in the world, so I was like, I want to lose weight. I wasn't happy how I was, so I decided that I wanted to lose weight. So I started going to a slimming club in the UK called Slimming World. Started going there, and they like advocate that you eat like red and green days. So like red days you would eat lots of meat, and green days you would eat like pastas, and then we'd still be allowed like allowances of like milk and cheese and things like that. Did that for about a year and a half. I lost a stone and a half, 2 stone. Then my weight just stopped. I couldn't lose any more weight, and I was like, why? I want to be skinny, like this is shit, like what can I do? So I started researching online, calories and things like that, and I saw someone for like my height and weight at the time. I'm 5'10", so someone of my height should be eating to lose weight around like 1,500 calories. So I was like, right, 1,500 calories, can't go over 1,500 calories, that is my limit. And so I started doing that, and if I went over 1,500 calories, I would exercise it off. So say I ate 1,800 calories, I'd be like, right, I've got to exercise 300 calories worth away. Started doing that, but then inevitably I would binge out big time. Like, it's like a shark feeding frenzy. It was horrific. And this went on. It's just like a vicious cycle. You'll be going through the same thing. You restrict, and your body just can't take it anymore. It wants food. Just binge out on the nearest thing that's there. And like probably the worst things for me, I remember being in bed and feeling hungry and sneaking downstairs in the night and taking pizza out of a bin. Like, that is how bad it got. And I know that there'll be people out there that do similar things, and it's not surprising. You're not crazy. It's just when your body's not getting enough proper calories, that is what you're going to do. So I did lose a lot of weight, but I was so grumpy and depressed, and I was a fucking bitch to be around, to be quite honest. My friends, my boyfriend at the time, family, I just feel so bad that I was such a fucking bitch to them. And I'm sure that there's people that understand exactly what I'm talking about. And the worst thing was, even though I was a bitch and even though I was horrible, the worst thing was I hated myself so much. I hated who I was. I hated everything about me. I hated how I looked. Even though I was so skinny, I still hated myself. And yeah, so I started exercise, and that was the first way of getting rid of these calories. And then I started throwing up. Was the first time I made myself sick was in Disneyland, Florida. Like, of all the places in the world, that's where I became bulimic. It was in throwing up. And fucking Disneyland. And the reason that it happened there was I was on holiday with my boyfriend and his family, and we were out having meals, and I couldn't exercise every day, and I couldn't go on 8-mile runs like I had been doing to get rid of all these extra calories. And so I remember just eating this huge steak one night because I was so hungry. I was eating a steak, and then I was just like, oh, you fat pig, like, no, you can't burn the calories off. What are you going to do? Like, what can I possibly do? I felt that disgusted in myself. I went to the toilet and made myself sick. And it was just horrible. Like, it was just... And the thing with it is you have so much self-hatred afterwards. You just hate yourself even more for throwing up. And that went on for the obviously the whole holiday, which was a few weeks, and then when I got back I just carried on because I hated having a full stomach. I hated it. Like I just felt fat and disgusting and a failure for not sticking to diets. But then that circle went on for so long, restrict, binge out, and my relationship suffered with everybody. All my relationships suffered, not just with the guy that I was with, but with my family, with my friends. I was just a pain in the ass to be around. And then it got to the point where I was like, it was actually my mum's birthday. She'd had a cake and they were like, oh, just have a bit of cake. And I was like, no, I can't. Like, just have a little bit. So I was like, okay, I'll have a bit. The bit turned into like half the freaking cake, and I was just disgusted with myself. So I went to the toilet again, threw up, missed my mum's birthday. And I was in bed that night. I had a really sore throat from throwing up, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't keep doing it. And obviously there've been times before where you always think this is the last time it's going to happen. But this time I was like, I can't do it again. And I remember looking on YouTube for ways to lose weight, like other ways. And I came across Harley and Freely's videos. And they were talking about eating a vegan diet and a high carb, low fat vegan diet. And I was like, oh, what's this? So I started researching into that, and then I became vegan. And it didn't happen overnight. I'm not gonna lie and say yes, it was straight away, but within 2-3 weeks, like when I started eating this way, eating high carb, clean foods like lots of fruits, vegetables, plain potatoes, plain rices, no animal products, I felt like a different person. Like, it's incredible how good and how quickly you feel when you're eating this way and you're not restricting calories. Like, they recommend that you don't restrict, so I didn't. And I just feel like a completely different person. I know so much to them, and I know so many other people do, and that is my advice to you: to go vegan, to eat a high carb, low fat diet, and you can overcome it like I can. The worst part of it for me was the hate that I had for myself. Like, I hated myself so much, and I'm just not that person anymore. Like, look where I am. Just riding my bike. I'm in Australia. Like, as you can tell from my accent, I'm not from Australia. But since recovering from being bulimic, I was like, what do I want to do with my life? I want to travel. So I was like, I'll come to Australia. So that's what your focus should be on, not on. When I was bulimic, my focus was not on things that made me happy. It was focusing on how I could get rid of excess calories, like what my next meal was going to be, like how I was going to deal with like going out at the weekend and drinking and the calories there. Like, that was my focus. It was all about food 24/7, constantly thinking of calories and food and fat, and it was just not a life. It was just, and I know that you'll be thinking the same as I was, but I just want to tell you that there is a really easy way out of it. Like, all the different methods of overcoming bulimia that I experienced, like, I went to the doctors about it, and they just wanted to give you drugs. They just wanted to give you like antidepressants that boost your serotonin, but I didn't want to take drugs. I was like, no, I don't want drugs. I don't want drugs. So I was like, oh, we can offer you counselling. So I had counselling, and it might work for some people, but for me, it's not. I just feel and believe that bulimia is not a mental issue. It's completely, utterly calorie restriction. That's why you feel so shit. You're not depressed. Your body just hasn't got enough fuel and enough energy to make you feel how you should feel. And honestly, just try it. Please just try it. Like, try this way of living, and I know that it'll work for you, it'll work for everybody out there who's suffering from bulimia, because it's a fucking shit life. It's shit. It's not a life. It's, you just feel like you're trapped in your own head, in your own body. You just feel like you're crazy. Like, I just feel so happy, generally, all the time, and it's because I'm feeding myself properly. I'm not restricting my calories. I'm not stressing all the time about food, and that's all I can say. I just feel really passionately about this, and I want you to know that there's a way out, and it's so simple. I never thought it would be this simple, but it is. It really is. Look, I'm going to do more videos about becoming vegan, about eating a high carb, low fat vegan diet. I say diet, what I mean is lifestyle, because it's not, you never have to restrict your calories doing this. You just don't. You can eat as much as you want and know that it's good for your body. Look, I'm going to do more videos about this. This one's getting really long. I didn't want it to be this long. So if you have any questions, post them down below, and just please be reassured that if I can get through it, you can get through it, and I'm no different. So I will see you next video. Okay, bye.